Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah and in today's video we are going to be market prepping together. I have a festival in mid-April. It's about 8 weeks from now and I have a goal to market prep $25,000 before April, before the festival. I am at almost $18,000 worth of inventory, so I have about 7K more to go. I don't know how possible that's going to be, but we are going to try our best and hopefully get close to my actual goal. I am currently working on a project that I technically had no plans to make, but I really needed a break from making all of the projects that I have to make. I need to make my unicorn snuggler for pattern release day. Oh, speaking of which, I need to pick testers today. Forgot about that. And pattern release day will be the 28th if all goes well. I'm also working on my mini possum pattern. It's a new pattern. I want to make a free pattern on Instagram. And then I also want to do a tutorial for it this weekend. So I need to work on that tomorrow, hopefully. If not Thursday. Oof. That'll be cutting it close, but I still want to get that ready to go. I need to respond to comments. I have a terrible time actually staying on top of that, so I need to do that. So I have a long list of things that I need to do, and eventually I will get to them all, hopefully. But like I said, I'm working on something that I've been wanting to make for a long time now. I've been wanting to make a full-size willow in this color combo. So this is Little Will. I wanted to make a full-size willow in the same color, so that is what I am doing. I was going to match this guy, but I've decided to just make this one blue and white and get rid of this medium blue because the yarn I have is super stiff, and after working with Naughty Pony and a good ball of Sweet Snuggles Light, I just couldn't force myself to use that yarn. So we're going all white. I already have one of the wings made. And this guy is turning out a little bit smaller than normal, which is fine. I actually wanted this to have really nice tight stitches. That's what I'm doing. And I think it's turning out super cute. I used these 30mm eyes from Sweet Beans Crochet, which when this guy is finished, you'll get a good glamour shot of all of the details, including the beautiful eyes. But I'm going to match the rainbow fur on the spine so it looks like a blue sky with a rainbow in it. That's kind of what I was going for with this dragon. That is what I'm going to be working on today. I want to finish it today, hopefully, or at least get it close to being finished. I don't have that much work left to do. I already have the legs, 2 ears, the body, and then I just need to make the tail detail, the spine, surface crochet, the other wing, and then also the 2 horns. I think I'm gonna go with the traditional willow horns, but I was also kind of thinking of maybe doing some epic ones, but I don't know. I really wanted to make a dragon that was using the base willow pattern, so I think that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. That is what I'm working on for now. I will update you all on all the other things as I work on them instead of continuing to talk and explain what my ideas are. That is everything for now. I will check in with you likely tomorrow with more news. I just finished filming the tutorial for my little possum pattern. I decided to make this one out of mostly Naughty Pony and some Parfait plush just because this yarn is a lot easier to work with on camera, at least in my opinion. But this is the first one I've made out of a larger yarn type, and you can see that he is still teeny tiny. Largest stitch count is 12, so it is on the small side. It's pretty much the exact same size as my Little Bee pattern on my YouTube channel. I also have to take pattern photos today. I haven't decided if I'll do them in Naughty Pony / Parfait plush again, or if I'll do it out of the baby bear yarn. I feel like the bigger yarn type might be easier to see. This guy is super cute. I can't wait to release him. I get this thing sometimes where I really enjoy filming a tutorial, and then other times where I keep saying the wrong thing or messing up what I say. And as a tutorial, it needs to be as clear and concise as possible. So today was one of those days where I'm talking and talking, and then I'll say something wrong and I have to start again. I'm like, ugh. So hopefully editing me will enjoy editing that more than I did filming it. It's still fine. I know it's fine. It's just one of those things. I am going to work on the blue willow today. I pretty much did nothing yesterday. We had a very busy day yesterday outside of the house, so I really didn't get pretty much anything done. But today, hoping to be more productive. I did pick testers though for Hudson the horse. They're working on it now. Hopefully they like the pattern. I feel like it looks really nice. I would say it even looks nicer than the other snuggler pattern. I'm going to go ahead and work on this pattern a bit, relax a bit. I don't know, we'll see. I want to do something fun today, so I think I'll finish that blue dragon. That counts as fun. My space has been feeling very chaotic recently, and I do not have a before to show you because it was genuinely a mess. And so here's the after. I put together my yarn shelf and made it look a lot more put together, a lot nicer. I will say though, I did like the chaotic yarn situation, so in the future I may switch things up a little bit instead of making them all in a line together and nice and straight, so we'll see about that. But I wanted to show you the new yarn wall where I'll be taking pattern photos or plushie photos. I also yesterday finished my Willow. This cutie right here. We have the gorgeous eyes from Sweet Beans Crochet. They are perfect, kind of like a very light pastel. Rainbow glitter in there, so it is perfect. I decided to make this Willow totally to what I wrote in the pattern, so I did the normal horns. I haven't done one of those in a while, so that was fun. And then of course I have the tail detail. But this guy is so cute. He is on the smaller side because I made my stitches a lot tighter with Naughty Pony. Normally I would crochet a little bit looser with Naughty Pony so it matches Sweet Snuggles Light a little bit better, but I just wanted to make this one look as nice as possible, so that is what I did. I also have the Little Will version right here, so now you can see the size difference with something that's pretty similar to each other. These guys are so cute. They're going to be on the table, not necessarily together, but they'll be on the table at the same time. I also worked on some other stuff yesterday. I started market prepping more seriously. So I started making some chickens. These guys are right here. I have 5 cream ones made and I plan to make 10 cream ones. I would like to have 50 chickens total and in 5 different colors. So that is what I'm going to attempt to do. These guys take about 22 minutes for me to finish, so it's really not that bad. I will likely still charge $15 for them just because they sell super quickly, so I charge a little bit more on items I know will disappear quickly. Hopefully get them to stick around a tiny bit longer. Seeing as it's a 3-day festival, I need my inventory to last until the last day. That is what I worked on, these chickens right here. I will note though that I added an extra single crochet round to the actual body of this pattern. This is a free tutorial on my Instagram. This is a free pattern on my Instagram, and there's also a tutorial on it, but what I did was I keep dropping it. What are you doing? What I did was I took that very first decrease round and I put the 2 single crochet rounds between it, and then I did the decrease round. Hopefully that makes sense, but I'm thinking I might revise this pattern. I don't know, we'll see. I just feel like this looks a little bit better because it's a little chunkier, so I will decide in the future. Oh, I also got all my minis out again, so let me show you what they look like with the possums in there. Here's my minis box for now. They're gonna actually go in a real basket when they are on the table, but I've been putting them in this box just so that I can see them a little bit better. Here are the mini possums. I have 30 and the goal is to make 50, but we'll just add these 30 in for now and I'll make the other 20 as time goes on. There's the mini bin so far. I feel like this box is pretty full, which is good, of course. I mentioned it in the past, but I'll mention it again just in case you're new or anything. For the minis bin, I plan on putting only a certain amount in at one time. for day 1, day 2, and day 3. For day 1, there will be 20 of each, and then day 2, 20 of each again, and then final day, whatever's left over. That way, hopefully the minis bin looks nice. It's easy to sift through and not feel like one thing is overwhelming everything else, but then also to hopefully prevent everything from selling out too quickly. That is everything though. That's the minis bin coming together. I have a lot of things I want to make for it, so this is something that I'm going to start doing very shortly here, just making as many minis as possible. I will check in with you probably tomorrow with more news. Yesterday I finished all 10 of the cream chickens and I started a new batch of these mottled colors. This guy right here. So I have 2 of these guys so far, and then I will have 8 more left to make. So maybe today, I have to edit today, so we'll see how much crocheting I can actually do, but just wanted to let you know that I made 7 chickens yesterday. And for proof on the cream ones, I guess I should show you them. They're all in this bag here to keep them clean. Total of 10 of these guys, and they're all super cute. They're all slightly unique, which is good. I have a total of 12 chickens so far. I mean, they work up pretty quickly, all things considered. I feel like they're pretty sizable for 20-22 minutes worth of work. That is my super fast update, because that's literally all I did yesterday, besides picking up a bit, which I already showed you that. So I will check in with you when I have more interesting things to add. Two days ago, I finished some more chickens, and I did not work on any yesterday, but I figured I should show you where they're at. I have 10 cream ones, which I'm pretty certain I already said that, but now I have 5 of these mottled ones, these guys right here. So I need to make 5 more of these guys, but I ended up taking a break from chickens because I wanted to work on a snuggler. The pattern name is Hudson the Horse, but there's also a unicorn mod in it. This is my own pattern that will be out on the 28th. So I wanted to make a giant burlap blanket version and have this guy ready for pattern release day. I wanted to have new photos for release day. So last night I finished the body. I stayed up way too late working on it, I will admit, but I just needed to see some really real progress on this. So I decided to stay up late. Now all I have to do is add the tail to the body and then sew the head on and it'll be finished. So I thought real quick I'd talk about a couple of things. First thing is, if you do purchase this pattern and want to crochet it, I recommend tucking the super long end that you need to sew the head on into the body so that you can make the tail in piece. I recommend you do the tail before you add the head, just because it's easier. The lighter the plushie is, the easier it'll be to add the tail. But here is how we add the tail. I crocheted through the 3rd loop of the half double crochet, so on the back side here there's this loop you can crochet into. The way I make my hair is different than my other patterns. So with my other unicorn patterns I make the hair nice and chonky and super curly, but I wanted something a little bit different for this snuggler, so what I ended up doing was making chains that look like this. And then if you want curly hair, you just twist the chain a whole lot, and then when you slip stitch back into the head or the tail, then let it go, it'll curl up like this. But you could always make your hair straight or curly. I'll just show you an example of it on the tail. I don't think I'm gonna film a separate video on this just because it's a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that. So I figured I'll just talk about it in here, and if it becomes an issue then I'll address it in the future. But I start by slip stitching onto that one of the loops, not the full stitch, but one of the back loops. And then you chain however long you want your tail to be. I'm gonna chain 25. If you make your hair straight, it will be longer, so you could adjust the chain length as you want, but if you curl your tail, then it'll shrink up a bit. So the way I curl the tail is I take my plushie and I hold it up. Make sure that your working end doesn't get caught up in this, and you just start spinning. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera. This guy is really big, but you just spin, spin, spin until the chain is super tight and you can't see any of the stitches anymore. so kind of like this, where it becomes very round, if that makes sense. I then take it and I slip stitch right into the next back loop. And then because of that twisting we did, it's all super curly. So then I just straighten it out and I twist it on my finger, and then there you have curly hair. I don't know if that was helpful or not. It was kind of hard to film with this plushie being so big. I finished the tail off camera because it was very difficult to crochet it on the desk. So anyways, here's the tail finished. There is the head sewn on, and the unicorn is finished. Look at how cute she is. Hold on. I might need to move the camera so you can get a better look, but she is cute. I love the way the hair looks. Anyways, that's what I ended up doing. I hope you all enjoy the pattern if you end up purchasing it. It's going to be out on the 28th. I think I already said that. So it will be out before this video is out, I'm certain, because I have been a major procrastinator with computer stuff recently. I'm trying my best over here. I have a lot of things on my plate, both in my personal life and then market prepping. I have so many things to market prep, and I don't think I'll be able to get to them all, so I'm trying to prioritize. I did, though, also order some stuff from Amazon, which is going to be here sometime next week. I am revamping my market setup a bit to be a little bit more cute, and I got some pink tablecloths, so I'm going to get rid of those brown ones. Well, not get rid of, but you know, not use them anymore, because I really want it to be a lot more fun of a table stand, of a market stand. I got a lot of work to do with that, actually. I need to get on that. Anyways, that's the update. I should go. I'll check in with you later. I cannot remember the count the last time I updated you on these chickens, so we'll just go through them all real fast. I have 5 of these guys right here. This yarn is creamy and white colored. Super cute. I feel like it's very chickeny. And I ended up making 5 of these guys. 1 today and 4 yesterday. And then I also have 10 of these guys. I think I mentioned these guys yesterday, but just in case, here they are. All 10 of them finished. And then you all already know about the cream ones. I finished all 10 cream ones. Today I decided to mix things up a little bit, and instead of finishing each chicken from start to finish, I'm instead making them mostly finished. So these guys just need stuffing and to be sewn closed. The problem that I have when I am making chickens is that I will make them from start to finish. I will stuff, I will close them up, I have a chicken done, and then I will sit there for 10 minutes going, I gotta make another chicken. So to avoid the problem of putting the hook down for too long, I decided to just make their bodies, and I will stuff them at a later date. So here are the gray ones. Not finished, but mostly finished. This is Parfait Plush. They're darker gray. Seal. I almost said that. The color is Seal. So these guys are going to get stuffing later on. I also still want to make 5 more of these cream ones because I think they'll sell well. I also need to make some white ones because I know the white ones were the most popular. I think though I'm going to wait until I go to Michael's and get some more Sweet Snuggles light and white, because the white that I have, they're all in cakes from when I purchased a whole lot of yarn last May. So I don't really want to use that yarn on the chickens because it'll be tedious to work with. It falls apart a little bit too easy for my taste. So I think I will do that, and if I can find some nice white Sweet Snuggles light, then I will go ahead and buy that and use that for the chickens. I think I mentioned it, but I also ordered some Amazon items for market day. I received a couple of them today, and one of those is this. These are my tag strings. So I use these so that I don't have to tie knots 600 times. Now I will say my only complaint is that they are super short, which makes them hard to work with, but you can't beat just being able to click these two together and not having to tie any knots, especially since I want to tag a whole lot of stuff. This just makes life a million times easier. There's 1,000 in each of these. I probably did not need to order 2 more, but I didn't think about it at the time. I'm also trying out a new lighting system. So I used to use these magnet strips that stick onto the canopy, and they work pretty well except for the fact that they broke sometime last year. I have a black box full of all of my market stuff, canopy things. They're not things I would put on the table, but like repair things and stuff like that. The lights turned on randomly one day even though they were off, and they died. Are they going to be on the entire time while they're charging? And I only really need them later in the day, so I got a better solution, hopefully. This is a camping light. I have not officially tested this out in terms of like putting it on my canopy, but it is bright. And it changes colors. You have the super yellow. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. This actually comes with a controller, so that was not doing that earlier. It actually wouldn't turn off earlier without the controller, or the remote. So it comes with a basic remote. Turn it on. You can change the colors. There's a couple different modes, and then you can also change the brightness. I think I might use this guy for filming tutorials in the future, since I can just hang it up. If you've noticed, this is something that's been bugging me in my tutorials or when I'm filming on my desk. My lighting strip I have right now, it creates this like wave motion. I don't know why it does that. It's very annoying. So hopefully I can use this for filming too. And if I can, then my lighting in my videos will be better. Yay. A lot of people, I guess, assume that I'm pretty professional, which thank you, I'm flattered, but I feel very unprofessional sometimes, especially when it comes to not having enough lighting in tutorials where it doesn't look as good as it could. The camera has a harder time picking up really nice, crisp video when it's not lit up enough, and especially with it being winter and everything, it's just dark all the time. Right now, I'm filming at night, which doesn't help, but oh well. But I got this one on Amazon. I do not have any Amazon affiliation links or whatever. Maybe I should do that. But if y'all are interested, let me know and I'll post the link in my replies. The links for Amazon are so long that putting them in the caption would make it really hard to read the caption. So if you're interested in anything that I show now or in the future, just let me know in the comments. It'll take me a hot minute to get to you, but I will. I promise. Whew, that was a lot to talk about. One final thing though is on the desk. I have to show it to you. I'm working on another giant willow. Oh, I completely forgot to show you my giant willow. I added something to it. You may have noticed that in last video I specifically tried not to say giant willow, but we're just committed here. Until she gets an official name, I will dub her giant willow. My sister was begging me to give it eyelids, so I did. Look at how cute. Look, she looks so ancient and sleepy now. So the eyelids will be optional, but I will be putting them in the pattern too. I'm really excited to write this pattern up, actually. My plan is to put the base pattern all together, of course, and then have an optional at the end. So optional flowers, optional embroidery, optional eyelids, etc. We'll see what else I end up putting in there. I started writing a list because I'm excited. Working on this green one here. I still am waiting for more Premier yarn to get in, but I'm using what I have right now, which is just one ball of yarn. And I'm thinking pairing it with this would be so pretty for the wings and the tail. I'm gonna see how that looks and probably commit on that. And then I will also use this. I ordered some more of this as well, so I'll be double stranding it. This is gonna give it hopefully a wildflower look. I'm going for a wildflower theme for pattern photos. Also, sorry if my chair is creaking a lot. I think it needs something. It needs help, that's for sure. But anyways, that is actually it now. I have talked a lot for 11 minutes straight. I'm probably gonna have to cut out a lot of that, but you know, that's what I do. If you are a content creator and you want people to think you're professional, just get like 4 times the amount of footage than you actually need and cut it down. That's what I do. Anyways, I will check in with you all eventually when I have more things to add. I think I'm gonna work on this dragon for a bit tonight before I go get my beauty sleep, but we'll see. I'll update you tomorrow. Unfortunately, yesterday I had to stay up super late. I really had no choice in the matter here. I obviously stayed up and crocheted as much as possible. I worked on this dragon until I completely ran out of the yarn I was using. Supposedly my new yarn is supposed to be here today. If that's the case, I'm very excited. I have been tweaking the pattern as I go and adjusting it a little bit. I made the neck a little bit thicker. I'm really hoping you can't hear that vacuum because I'm just going to keep talking. I also changed how the increases look on the back, so they get bigger slower, if that makes sense. Just a little bit. I'm trying to get the decreases actually even this time, and I think it's working. It's hard to show it to you because it's so big. That's all I did last night. I worked on this, but something I forgot to mention yesterday is that I released the mini possum pattern on Instagram, in my coffee shop, and on my YouTube channel. I have to say, coordinating all of that was... it was a lot. I had my super awesome best friend, Victoria. She tested for me. Big pile of craft. Thank you so much for your time. I'm putting her photo on the screen. So cute. She works in burlap blanket, so they're a little bit bigger, which is perfect. I don't have those colors, or I would make one myself. I'm happy to see it turned out cute in burlap blanket as well. I'll check in with you later. I received some more of the stuff I ordered from Amazon, which includes this cute shelf right here. I actually got 2 of them, thanks to my dog losing his mind because somebody dared to deliver a package. I now have my new yarn order, which means we'll go through that too in just a second. I want to finish talking about this shelf. This thing is so cute. So this is going to replace the brown shelf that I had at my last festival with the chalkboard sign. I have 2 of them now. I'm going to have a $12 section and a $15 section. This will be the $15 shelf. I only built one of them because it was actually really tedious to build. I don't want to wear them both out by building them when I'm not actually going to use them. But this is the chalkboard sign on top. It's got these cute little scallops. So I'm going to write 15 in big letters on the top, and then what it includes. So the chickens, the possums, which, speaking of possums, I got these huge safety pins for them. I think I talked about these. I'm going to use these to pin the possums. People can pin them onto their shirts or their overalls or their hats, whatever they decide to wear. Hopefully these will help the possums sell much better than last year. They did sell okay last year. They just didn't sell as much as I wanted them to. So I'm going to reinforce their tails on most, if not all, the possums and get a few put together with these. But I got different colors. So there's black, silver, brass, and then the dark gray. Let's get into the Premier yarn. Ta-da! So I got 2 toffees. These guys right here. Light blue and forget-me-not. Bubblegum, because Sweet Sandals Light does not come in this color at all. I really like it. I grabbed 4 of these chartreuse. So this is for the extra large Willow. Well, this ball of yarn is it's been attacked a little bit, so I guess I'm going to use this ball of yarn next. Lastly, in the box, I have the little bunny in the variegated color. This one right here. This is the one that I want to double strand for my extra large Willow, so I have enough to actually do that now. That is almost everything I've ordered recently. I did order some pink tablecloths, which will be here Thursday, is what they said, supposedly. But they're just like a nice light pink, which I think will be so cute for my stand. And I just want it to be a little bit more cohesive, so we're doing a color theme of light pinks, white, and I think it'll be so pretty. I can't wait for setup. I'm very excited. That's not true. I am super excited for market day, but I'm also terrified because I have so many things that I want to make that I haven't had the chance to make yet. So in my next market vlog for this series, I'm going to have a detailed plan put together because I need to prioritize. I need to plan out what I can actually do. I really should make a list of all the things that I actually need to do as well, just so that I'm fully aware. To be honest, I would have like a solid 5 weeks left before festival day because I need at least a week to tag everything. So I'm feeling it. I'm stressed, but we're gonna figure it out and just see how it goes. I will note really fast, I know I've talked a lot. I will note though that even if I don't hit my $25,000 goal, I will have more inventory than last time simply because more of it is higher quality. That is it for now. I do have a couple other things I want to talk about, but I will talk about them later. I'll check in with you later. Okay, I have to leave in less than 20 minutes, so I'm not going to get too distracted here, but I didn't update you yesterday, and I have to update you now. I started an entirely new project. I hope you all are excited. I'm excited, so you all better be excited. It is another extra large pattern like Kingsley the Kitty, Beatrice the Unicorn, etc. And I am so excited to finally get back on the bandwagon a little bit and actually work on something like this. These larger projects are personally my favorite, so I am enjoying this. But I promised this in my 2025 recap video. This is one of the patterns I promised. Sorry, give me a second. I just realized I'm completely covered in cat hair. I haven't shown you guys the cats in a while. I should probably do that. Okay, now I can touch the plushie. This is the new pattern. Look at it. It is a giant raccoon. So cute, so huggable. This was test number 1. So I tweaked the color work a little bit on the front for test number 2. Yes, I made 2 of them, but this one is the red panda version. So cute. So this is the color work that I'm mostly settling on. I actually tweaked it one more time, but this one isn't finished, to be fair. I wanted to test the pattern one more time officially before taking pattern photos, so I started a blonde raccoon. So cute. This guy's almost finished with the body, that is, and this is the official color work. I imagine it's a little bit harder to see because of the lighter colors, but on the official pattern, this is what it'll look like. I think it turned out super cute. Now, normally with giant plushies, recently I've been using the specialty safety eyes or the sinker eyes. But for these guys, I feel like when I looked at raccoons online and I researched them, they have these beady eyes that are super close together. And I just think that painted eyes like this won't work so much, but I will include instructions for them in the pattern. The updated color work that I did, they actually do fit and you can still see all the color work, so I will also include instructions in the pattern for that. So the plan is to make one more gray one with the pattern closer to this guy. I did shrink the body a little bit. I will say, because I'm using Naughty Pony though, that the stitches are a little bit shorter than these ones, so this one is technically the official one, but it's not finished, so it's kind of hard to tell what it's supposed to actually look like. So when that guy's finished, we'll have an idea of what the official pattern will look like. But I had a huge hit of inspiration. That's why I have almost 3 of them and going on 4. I just want to make things that I really want to make. I'm going to be fully honest for a second here. I have a hard time doing pattern tests because there's a lot of things I don't love about doing pattern tests. What I don't love is I don't love picking testers. It is so hard to limit the test to 9 to 12 people or however many testers I pick when 60 plus people have applied, and I just have to say you all make it so hard. So because of that, I don't love doing tests that much. I know that's probably a lame excuse, but it's just, I want to work with you all. I pick like 20 people out and I still have to cut people out. And then I'm like, I really hope they apply next time. I haven't really been feeling like making that little bee pattern right now. It's just, I really enjoy making the larger plushies because they take a little bit longer, but they're more substantial when they're finished. They're less tedious to make in my opinion because the details aren't super small. When you make something smaller and the details are small, it's tedious to work with. So that's why I decided to take a break from the chickens and the possums too, just to work on something that I actually want to make, something that I've been planning on making. I think these guys will sell really well at my festival at least. I feel like raccoons are pretty popular for my area, so hopefully they are. I also have some other plans, which are why these pink eyes are out. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I have an idea for yet, just because I don't know if I'll actually make it in this video or if I will wait a little bit, just because I won't have enough time. I will say though, I did do some computer work, pick testers for the revised version of Beatrice, so that pattern will be out. The plan is the 10th of March, hopefully. And then I'm also planning on having at least one more tester call for a pattern to be released in March. I feel like I can do that, maybe even release 3 patterns in March total. I don't know, it depends on how many tester calls I want to coordinate. Like I said, tester calls are worth it for sure, but it's just a lot in general. That is all I have for you for now. Like I said, I have to get going, so I will check in with you all when I have something to update you on. This is the cat hair culprit. I haven't updated you all in a while, so Please excuse me for that. I've had a very busy weekend. I actually have to leave in a few minutes here, so this outro is going to be as quick as I can get it. First thing I want to show you though are these Patreon eyes I received from Traveling Pony Studios. I will get you a much better glamour shot, but these are beautiful eyes. Highly recommend checking out her safety eyes, whether you just order one time from her website or you check out her tiers. They're amazing. I also worked on a cow snuggler yesterday as trying to have a bit more fun because I have been stressed out recently. So I've been making something that I want to make, which is this guy. This is Carter, the cow snuggler. And I made him in burnout blanket. So cute. And of course I have the unicorn one as well. So these guys are super cute. I also finished my blonde raccoon. I don't think I showed it to you. This guy right here. He's super cute. This is the finalized body style type plus face color work. And then I also worked on chickens. So I ended up making 38 chickens total. I made 10 cream ones, 10 of these guys right here, and then 9 gray ones and 9 of these creamy white ones. So I don't know if I'll make one more of the gray and the cream. I just don't feel like it's necessary. So I'm gonna work on the white ones though today a little bit over the next video, and those will probably be the last ones I end up making. I'll make white. I might end up making 12 of them. I'm gonna use a full skein of Sweet Snuggles Light and see how much I can get out of it. So in total, this last couple of weeks, I worked on 2 extra large snugglers, 38 chickens, 3 extra large raccoons, technically one's a red panda, and then I also made those 2 mini possums, the super small ones, but they're out of the Sweet Snuggles Light. And then I also made the rainbow willow. So all in all, I made $1,056 worth of monetary value and 46 items. That brings my total monetary value up to almost $19,000 at $18,965. And then I also have 657 items total right now. I have a long list of things that I want to make. We'll talk about that in my next video because, like I said, I do have to go. Thank you so much for watching to the end. You all are the best. If you haven't already, check out my coffee shop. I have a discount code for all you amazing people who watch to the end. The discount code is single crochet in all caps, and you will get 10% off your total order if you watched all the way to the end. Why don't we do a chicken emoji since I made so many chickens this video? I assume there's a chicken emoji out there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your amazing support. I appreciate each one of you so very much, and I will see you in my next video. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something fun. And I will see you then. Bye!